Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yours.
Inside here, you get an insight and you know something, but you don't want to say it out loud because you're kind of afraid that it's not going to be really true and it'll spoil the whole thing for you, But when somebody makes you say it, then, and it's true, then it just makes it more beautiful of a thing.
Break down. Break down.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. Tonight, we've got an absolute banger of a matchup in our NA Console Open Tier Winners Bracket quarterfinals between Red Team and Short Bus. Tonight, I am joined by the incredible Dexatron. How are you feeling tonight, Dex?
Fletch, I am doing great. And we were talking about these two teams before we went live here tonight, that this is going to be probably a close series, maybe one of the closest series in this upper bracket here in the second round. Red team comes into this one undefeated on the season, winning their first round playoff game 3-0 in a sweep. Short Bus dropped 2 maps in the regular season, but won their first round there with a sweep as well. So these two teams coming into this game here tonight, riding a little bit of a hot streak.
Yeah, and, let's take a look at our bracket to see where we are and where we could be. Red Team versus Short Bus right there, second from the bottom in the the winners bracket, sorry. Red Team beating Striking Doom. Short Bus getting some revenge on Hydra from the last couple of weeks of the regular season. The winner of this game will play the winner of Strawberry Dark Sun. Like you were saying, these teams both had incredible regular season success. I mean, Short Bus dropped 2 matches, but I know at least one of them was a forfeit. They could be better. We'll never know. But, they're a really talented team with a great roster. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, and what you mentioned there with Strawberry and the other team that they're playing there, that is a really interesting match. But hey, let us introduce you to Red Team here. Hey, I'm Zero and Hopeful, your DPS line. Dinks, your tank. Jacko and Evergreen are your support line here for Red Team. Remember, undefeated in the regular season, only dropped 2 maps all season long. That came, I believe, week 3 against Strawberry, where it was a 5-map series. Red Team was able to come up there and keep their perfect season alive.
Yeah, and this team, they won the mid-season tournament, and of course they are a juggernaut of the console open division tier here in CGL. So a lot of people have got eyes on them to take the money home in this playoff. But let's see the challengers on Short Bus. It'll be Akaza and NRG on the DPS, Necryze on the tank, and Vobina and Corona, on the support line. A really, really good team in their own right. A few players playing in the PC open division as well. Like you got NRG and Akaza, on that Crazy 88s team in the PC tier. But as for where we're going to start this match, it's going to be on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, and not a shock. Really, it's not. Lijiang Tower is a great map to start on. I always talk about it. You can play a lot of different comps. So you normally lean towards the brawl, especially on maps like Control Center, but you can see a lot of different stuff come out. Symmetrics can come out on every map to either get you 2 point faster or get you closer to that point really fast out of the gate. Both these teams, though, I mean, if you look at what they're telling you here, Short Bus likes to play anything good or any composition that Tracer can really work into. And when you look back over at Red Team, I mean, it seems like they're really trying to build for that brawl comp. So a Rhine, a Orisa, a Junker Queen, anything that allows them to be up close and personal to the other team is something they desperately want to run and desperately want to get going really fast here. But as we still kind of wait here for these two teams to get readied up here, I mean, we didn't necessarily talk about the subs on these two teams. I mean, I look at the team sheets here. Short Bus and Red Team here do have names I recognize on the bench, so I would not be surprised to see him come in throughout the series here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the likes of Evergreen, Worth on the side of Red Team, and Smurfiex, Ryan Guy, and Ricky on Short Bus. I mean, these teams are just loaded to the brim with so much talent, both of them, and you know they're gonna clash tonight in what I expect to be a very, very good series.
Yeah, but now as we finally load into the map here, we're going to get to see what each team kind of wants to come out on. But starting out on Control Center, maybe you want to lean a little bit into that brawl comp. Like I was saying, in Red Team, yeah, they're exactly doing that. And not surprised with who their supports are or what their lineup is. You go over the Short Bus, though. And they might just be teasing us right now. Necry is coming out here on the Doomfist. If you're gonna play a Doomfist, you got to be very confident in your play here. This is the open division, so I would expect Necry is a expert on the character. But you're gonna have Akasai here, teleporting them close to the point. Same thing with Hopeful, trying to get them there as fast as they can. They do have each team does have a Lucio, so it's gonna be really interesting to see how they play that. But you immediately see swaps off the Symmetrics almost immediately.
Yeah, hey, I'm Zero and Hopeful on the Bastion Sojourn. The tried and true composition here for Red Team. Akaza, or Necry, sorry, trying to build up that empowered punch, but getting punished out by Hey, I'm Zero. So a bit of a misplay there from the Doomfist of Short Bus, but Akaza's gonna put Jacko in the dirt, and despite going down, or not despite going down 2 people in Lu, I'm just going to stop talking. Red Team won the fight, but Short Bus aren't done yet. We see Necry's has returned to the fray, trying to put some damage into Dinks, who pops the gold there on the Orisa, and the Immortality Field comes out a little wide right, a little late for Dinks there on the point. Everybody's getting a little bit low here for the side of Red Team. Jacko, hey, I'm Zero, taking a bunch of damage. Necry's has to punch out on it to that coastal side, and Akaza's able to take down Evergreen here. So a great pick on the Lucio of Red Team, but Necry's gets traded out. Akaza is on a tear. You were talking about playing a comp that a Tracer could be good into, and Akaza is showing you why they want to do that. Such a good Tracer does go down, but Short Bus still has an edge. The same amount of players left alive as Red Team. Jacko goes down, and Evergreen staying alive. That'll be Short Bus finally taking the flip after a long fight.
Yeah, a long fight. You saw a lot of kills get staggered out there by both sides. Akaza able to find 2-3 on that Tracer was a huge thing for them. Hopeful, though, hasn't really found the same value on the Tracer so far. Necry's, though, on this Doomfist is definitely that one pick I would necessarily be watching out for. It's really different from what they really want to be running here, but they all just want to get into that backline as Akaza already starting right where they left off with a huge pick there on the Hopeful.
Yeah, a great duel, stealing that mega health pack away from Hopeful. And the Tracer duel goes in the way of Akaza, and Hopeful is going to switch over back to the Sojourn they were playing to start the map on. Realizes that they're probably not going to be able to stand up to Akaza here, and they know that they can beat NRG in a straight duel. And the Amp Matrix Bastion combo is lethal as always, so you know they're just going to decide this isn't worth it. We're going to back out here for the side of Short Bus, but we are going to see Red Team popping this airstrike. Can they find anything? It doesn't look like they will. Akaza has the Pulse Bomb, and NRG has a Railgun. Pulse Bomb is good from Akaza for Hopeful. NRG has taken down Jacko as well, but Hey, I'm Zero has less than 50 HP, and Akaza's gonna put them all in the dirt. Akaza with 3!
I mean, and you just look at this, you look at the fights that we've seen so far, and they've been sloppy from both sides. I mean, red team played it really slow. Their short buzz, all they had to do was wait for red team to really engage in the cries. You saw them use their meteor strike very early in that fight just to go get a health pack. If you're a red team, you recognize that the Doomfist is not there. That's your Gopa. You need to attack in on that. You're seeing some swaps now come over from red team. No more Bastion, no more Orisa. They want to go to this Diva comp here as you see the Kitsune Rush come out from Venvino.
Yeah, the Kit Rush going to come out from Bobino. It's going to be a beat from Evergreen to try and counter out that Kitsune Rush. So it will have faded away, and NRG has found and ripped off Jacko's head. But Hopeful sliding up, gonna put NRG down. It's gonna be a great trade there, but Hopeful so low and so dead. Corona is able to find the Sojourn. Corona goes down, but the rest of Red Team simply is not here. Red Team is gonna take control center.
And like I kind of said, every fight here was really sloppy from both sides. Short Buzz, though, picked it up towards the end. This Doomfist comp really caused a lot of problems there for Red Team. I mean, they really didn't know what to do. You saw them make multiple swaps, one going to a Soldier, to the Tracer, then back to the Soldier. Hey, I'm Zero was on the Bastion, but once that image kind of went away there, they just swapped off it, going over to the Tracer instead, want to continue that Tracer duel. So if you're Short Bus, I mean, you're in a really good spot right now. Maybe you figured something out about Red Team, that they're not necessarily comfortable running into your Doomfist. But Dinks, I mean, they looked really good on the Orisa to start, but it was just because each team was very rusty. You could look back to it. Nick Rise falling very early because they used some of their abilities way too early and got punished for it. And now you're seeing Red Team come out again with this Diva. They want to try to play fast, but again, Necryze can really do a lot to just kind of slow down the Diva. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play this.
And Hey, I'm Zero switching back over to the Tracer after the TP out of spawn. So they're going to take that duel with Akaza once again. Akaza been such an impactful player on this Tracer thus far. So we'll see what Hey, I'm Zero can do in that duel. And Dinks throws Corona right off the map. A great first pick, but Akaza's going to even it up. Jacko falls. A lot of the damage done by Necryze, but Akaza's happy to clean it up. And NRG is stuck in the backline, but it's going to be Short Bus that takes the flip early. Necryze wants this kill on Zero, but it doesn't look like they're going to get it. They're not done fighting, though. Dinks and Hey, I'm Zero are here, and Hey, I'm Zero goes down to Akaza once again, and Short Bus has firmly landed themselves on the point.
And if you're Red Team, you regret probably having Ham, Zero, and Diggs maybe re-engage there. You're already using the Suzu very early here. Short Bus, I mean, played it perfectly. Akaza, we have talked about them a lot because they have been just filling up that kill feed so far. They've been doing almost everything for their team, allowing the rest of their team a lot of freedom.
Yeah, and Dinks is in the back. Pulse Bomb comes out, not going to quite hit a target. Dinks is able to use those micro missiles to find Bobindo, and NRG goes down as well. Akaza and not able to, you know, have the heroics here on this map, or on this fight, but gonna keep getting the percentage, another solid 10% because Akaza just stalled.
Yeah, and a good team play there by Red Team. You really saw them stick together, and in my opinion, that helped them out there at the end. Now, you look at Red Team, 3 ultimates already ready. They're going to build up to the other 2 in this fight. Same thing's going to be set for Short Bus other than Akaza's Pulse Bomb here, so it's going to be a heavily invested ult fight, and you're already seeing it start off here with Jacko's Kitsune Rush.
Corona got taken a little bit low early, and Hey, I'm Zero going to finally put Akaza in their place. 2 for Hey, I'm Zero. Dinks cleans up Corona, and that will be Red Team coming out with a quick fight win there.
Yeah, and a quick fight win, and hey, even better, you only used 1 ultimate and you basically built up to all the other ultimates you had. Short Bus, though, coming up on 4 ultimates as well. Watch out for the Pulse Bomb from Hey, I'm Zero to get everything started here.
Not gonna quite find a target, and no, Akaza's on the hunt, takes the Mega again! Akaza finds Hey, I'm Zero, knows that they didn't have the recall, and now it's go time for Red Team. NRG popping the overclock, and that will be the fight going in the way of Short Bus.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very heavily invested fight there. You saw both supports use their ultimates for Short Bus. NRG also used their use of that overclock there. You see Hey I'm Zero there trying to stagger it out as long as they can. Necrons will be able to eventually find them there. But a good fight there from Shortbus. He did force out a couple ultimates, but if you're red team, you're kind of okay with that. You're still holding on to a bomb. Hopeful still holding on to an overclock here, but Akaza does have this pulse bomb ready to go. They haven't stuck anyone yet with the pulse bomb. I believe they had 3, only found 1 kill, but they're looking for a stick here. You're looking for Evergreen or Hey I'm Zero. But if you find Hopeful, it will be even bigger.
Not quite gonna find a pick. So close, but NRG is able to rip Zero's head off. The bomb is gonna come out. Dinks is gonna be able to get back in mech. So they do have the D.Va still in play here. Akaza is hurt so bad, able to grab the health pack on the coast. Necry is taking so much damage that power block can't defend from all angles. And Necry's cannot get Dinks off the map just yet. NRG, though, able to take out Evergreen. So they're without their Lucio here. They don't have the speed. Jacko hurt so bad. The pulse bomb not going to find it. And Corona able to kill Jacko. Hopeful falls to Akaza. And everything is going wrong for red team right now. They've only got 1 fight left. And Necry's is walking up to try and keep them from touching. Dinks has the boosters, wants to get onto the point, and it'll be Evergreen. Is the touch going to matter here? The Kitsune Rush is going to come out from Jacko. It's going to be up to the Corona to try and keep this fight alive on the point. They'll let the flip go through. They can let the flip go through for red team. They have so many ultimates. Meteor Strike comes out and NRG finds Hopeful. That's an incredible first pick here in this fight for Shortbus. NRG with a second and the overclock. The Kitsune Rush comes out as well. Akaza, the speed is lethal. Is able to take it down. Hey I'm Zero. Corona goes down. And Shortbus is going to take Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, and Shortbus played that map perfectly, in my opinion, especially the second point here. They allowed red team to just retake the point at certain times because they peeled out. They wanted red team to use abilities, use ultimates, and you saw what happened after that. Akaza getting to play the game here. We talked about a lot throughout throughout Lijiang Tower here. They were just everywhere, finding a lot of kills on this Tracer. And you have to remember, they want to play into a comp that allows Akaza to have this freedom, to just be in the backline, doing a whole bunch of damage. And they did that really well. But going back to what I was saying, especially on that second point there of Night Market, they peeled perfectly. They got out of fights at the right time when they lost one person, or hell, not even losing anyone sometimes. They would just back out of fights if they saw red team use ultimates, if they saw them use abilities. They let them use those and then came right back in with their own, knowing that they had the advantage, and they played it perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, they've got great calls, right? I know one player personally on Shortbus, and it's Corona. He used to be a coach for my Diamond team back a long time ago, and I mean, he's such a smart guy when it comes to you know, knowing what's happening at all times on the field of play. And it felt like they had that communication to say, hey, we're at 99% and all 5 of us are alive, so if we're hurt, why not just back out and let them take the flip, let ourselves get, you know, healed back up, full HP, get all of our cooldowns back, and then we'll go back in. And you saw it right there at the end of Night Market. I mean, Shortbus just overwhelmed red team with that that communication. And then from the side of red team, I mean, they looked good. They didn't look like they got dominated, right? I mean, they had plays on their own. Dinks on the D.Va looked great. Found picks left and right. Zero and Hopeful both looked great. And then Jacko and Evergreen, they made the plays they needed to make. So going into map number 2, which is going to be red team's choice, it's going to be Kings Row because, you know, why the hell not? We'll see what red team is going to come out with.
Yeah, I mean, you hear Kings Row, you think of, you know, Scrims Row. You played this map so much. It's a brawl map. Overwatch 2, though, yeah, it still kind of leans towards brawl, but you can see a lot of other stuff come out here. You can see dive, you can see rush, you can see poke. Sigma right now, very strong. Would not be surprised to see either team really do that. And honestly, I kind of expect it. I saw Ramatra gameplay here last night that was almost incredible with how efficiently they were actually finding a lot of value with that character. But, you know, it doesn't look like we're getting any swaps here from either team. And honestly, I'm not surprised by that. Each team looked really good on that first map. Short Bus, though, was just able to come out on top. And you have to remember, this is only Red Team's third drop map all season. And I imagine they're going to come out here a little bit mad. But as we load in to King's Row here, we're not that far away from seeing what each team necessarily wants to play, what kind of style they want to play. It's the brawl, in my opinion, or you're going for a little bit of a poke.
Yeah, I mean, the Sigma is a great shout, right? I mean, such a strong tank right now. But I don't think either of these teams are really leaning toward it. Yeah, Necry's and the Short Bus gang are going to come back out on what looks to be the same thing almost that they ran on Lijiang Tower on the Doomfist. This time, NRG hovering the Sombra, but Red Team running a dive of their own with Dinks on the Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, you know, when I see a Wrecking Ball come out, yeah, you think dive, but I ultimately think just disruption. You want to have that Wrecking Ball go in there, pile drive the ground, force a lot of the members of the other team up in the air, and let their DPS clean up. And you look at those two DPS for Red Team, the Tracer and the Ash here. Ash, you land a Dynamite, basically, Tracer, all they have to do, put half a clip into a squishy target, like a DPS, like a support, and they're gone. They're out of the fight, already giving you such a big advantage. NRG, though, you mentioned it, coming out on the Sombra, gonna be a very interesting pick, and because it already immediately kind of slows down what Dinks wants to do on this Wrecking Ball. Just hacking them out of the ball ability will be huge for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great read from Short Bus and NRG to try and deal with Dinks early, who rolls through. They're not quite able to get the hack out. NRG not able. Gonna take some damage. Gonna probably go down here. Hopeful takes down NRG. Not able to get the hack out, unfortunately. Dinks was too quick, rolling over that gap, and Short Bus is just gonna, you know, take a breather here. It's gonna be a slam from Dinks, and Akaza finds Hopeful. The long con has worked out for Akaza, walking all the way around the back, but Hey I'm Zero is going to even up the score here, and Necry's goes down as well. And I mean, it's not going to look good for Short Bus here in this fight as NRG goes down.
Yeah, you already see them fall back here. You're seeing some swaps come out from Short Bus. Necry is now going over to a Diva of their own here. They want to try to shut down someone, or really, I think they just want to be able to get into the face of Red Team a little bit faster than what maybe a Doomfist can have, especially the utility of that damage, or just able to eat up a lot of damage, allows maybe someone like Akaza and NRG to freely try to get into that backline without having the fear of getting damaged or killed.
NRG gonna slide up, slammed down onto by Dinks. Gonna go down here. I mean, Vobindo under a lot of pressure from the Wrecking Ball player. Some great peel there from Corona to boop away the Wrecking Ball. So Vobindo will survive for the time being. Necry's has switched over to the Diva, but Hopeful is going to find Akaza in the Tracer duel here, as Short Bus has yet to find their footing here on King's Row.
And so far, if I'm like, Short Bus is not necessarily showing me a lot. They find a huge pick here early. The Minefield's being forced out here by Dinks, and they will find Corona.
Yeah, Corona goes down. It's a trade for both. I mean, Dinks has looked great on the Wrecking Ball here. Moving forward, the Pulse Bomb puts Dinks down to 75 HP, but it's not going to be enough to take the Wrecking Ball down, and Necry's just walks into the minefield, wants to stay, just not be alive anymore.
And like I said, Short Bus, they've been playing this map incredibly weird so far. It seems like they just have no answer for what Red Team really wants to be running here. Now you see Necry's going over to a Jungle Queen. This is their favorite hero, at least that's what they tell us here. And it's a good counter to Wrecking Ball, but you really have to try to shut down Jacko and Hey I'm Zero. They've been able to do so much damage. You see the Consumer Rush coming out here from Evergreen.
But Corona goes down again. Evergreen is going to find that early pick there with the help of their own Kitsune Rush. And I mean, everybody's just stuck in the hotel here for the side of Short Bus, and they only have a minute left, and Red Team has been nothing short of smothering here on King's Row.
And you see Short Bus, they're coming up on 3 ultimates right now. That Kitsune Rush is going to be their engage, probably. You're going to be followed up by maybe a beat. We saw them use that last map to great success. NRG going to have an overclock as well, but watch out for the Amp Matrix from Jacko and Bob coming out from Hey I'm Zero. Those are 2 ultimates that, if they're paired up really nicely, can instantly end a team fight, and Short Bus has been struggling to get anything going so far.
And Corona gets slammed on, not able to get over the gap here. Akaza grabs the Mega, so still has the recall in the bank, but Necryze is going to be able to take down Evergreen here. But Necryze goes down. It just feels like every time Short Bus finds a pick, Red Team is able to answer in kind with one of their own. They're gonna find the pick and make that 2 for NRG. Some great picks. The overclock not finding anything in itself, but they're gonna have a win condition now. Finally moving forward. Corona so low though. Zero able to take it down. The Lucio Evergreen drops onto the point here, and hey, I'm Zero coming alive with 2 here. Necryze is able to take it down. The Ash, the recall out from Akaza, has the pulse bomb ready to go. The slam not going to find a target here this time, but the beat from Corona is going to be good to save the lives of the team, and the pulse bomb from Hopeful is good for Necryze. They have 75%, but it won't go any further. Short Bus gets held on Kings Row A.
Yeah, and really, all the credit, in my opinion, maybe outside the support line, really goes to Dinks. You have to give the support line a lot of credit, but Dinks only died once that entire round. Short Bus had a difficult time trying to figure out how to actually go into a Wrecking Ball combo. Necryze coming out on the Junk Queen, May was the best they looked, but it came off some huge plays from NRG, able to find 2 with that overclock. Kind of opened them up a little bit, allowed them to get that 74% that you see them have right there. But that was after the first map there, Short Bus, it seems like they kind of got everything went away from them. Red Team said, okay, yeah, we lost Lijiang Tower. We're bringing it to Kings Row, and we know exactly what to run to stop Short Bus. And so far, it's been working. And I would not be surprised if they come back out with the Wrecking Ball, because Short Bus has not been able to stop it. Hopeful and Hey I'm Zero going to be sticking with the same characters they were running with last time. Not a shock, but now we're seeing that Sigma I was talking about coming out here from Short Bus. I thought that's what we were seeing initially from them on the attack, but they're bringing it out on the defense. Corona, though, on the Brigitte here. They want to try to slow down Dinks. They want to try to get some damage. They want to try to get them away from their team, but it's going to be really difficult, in my opinion, to do that consistently.
Yeah, I mean, that accretion from Necryze is going to be so important for keeping Dinks in check right now. But it's going to be up to NRG to match Zero's value on the Ash here. Hopeful, going to try and pop ahead really quick. Doesn't see anybody, drops down. Going back to Tracer here. So hey, I'm Zero jumping up on the top of the double-decker bus right there. Trying to find some damage, but the shield is going to block a lot of it. And I mean, Short Bus trying to play on this high ground, but the pressure on the point, they don't want to drop down, but they will if they have to. The recall forced out from Akaza as well as Hopeful. So Dinks has swung up into the window. Not gonna find a kill there, but Hey I'm Zero will make their name known. Hey I'm Zero is that guy right now, absolutely dominating on this map. Everybody from the side of Short Bus is looking so low here. NRG has been able to take down Jacko. A great coach gun there from NRG to deny the slam from Dinks, and Corona dropping down. A great shot there from NRG, but it's not enough. Red Team gonna take Kings Row in dominating fashion.
Yeah, and like I said, Short Bus never figured out this Wrecking Ball comp that Red Team was running here. Dinks, I mean, a lot of credit goes to Hey I'm Zero on this Ash, but I think you still have to give the most to Dinks, just being able to do so much on that Wrecking Ball to stop Short Bus, and really made them think about their comp, because they weren't ever really able to get anything going consistently. It was such an easy offensive round there for Red Team, because all they needed to do was basically just force a fight on point, and you saw the dominoes just slowly start to fall after that there for Short Bus. I mean, we saw them make three or four different tank swaps there on their attack. They were desperately looking for something to try to shut down Dinks on that Wrecking Ball. They were not really ever able to find it.
Yeah, I mean, Short Bus had an idea coming out with the Sombra to try and slow Dinks down, and it was a great read, and it would have worked if they could get the hacks going, but whether it was damage or Dinks just rolling too fast to get around the corners before the hack could even matter, I mean, Red Team just had an answer for everything Short Bus wanted to do. And now, going into Flashpoint, it's going to be up to Short Bus to try and halt the momentum of Red Team. We will be seeing a map 4 at the very least, which is something a lot of these matches can't really say. So, you know, it's already been a pretty good match thus far. Short Bus, you know, left a little bit reeling here after King's Row, but I'm sure that they're going to be able to find something out going into Flashpoint. But unfortunately, we're going to cut it to a break for a few minutes. And when we come back, we'll see if Short Bus has what it takes to stop the Red Team from continuing to surge. All right, welcome back everybody, and we've got a bit of a series on our hands right now. Red team was able to even it up on Kings Row. Short Buzz had the map pick going into Flashpoint, and can anybody in the classroom guess what map it is? I bet you could. It's Saravasa.
Yeah, not a shock to see Saravasa come out here. New Jungle City, I have started seeing a couple more teams pick it, but again, Saravasa is definitely the favorable map for Flashpoint. It's just overall probably a lot of teams' favorite one. There's only 2 maps you could pick for Flashpoint here. But again, when you start to look at what you expect to see ran here, I mean, in Short Bus, especially with the cries on the tank, gotta be trying to run that Doomfist. I mean, they seem the most comfortable on the Doomfist. When they go away from the Doomfist, they don't necessarily feel like the same player they were on the Doomfist. But then you look over at Red Team. I mean, we have seen them run a couple different tanks. The ball looked very great for them on Kings Row. I would not be surprised if they bring it back out here, because it definitely gave Short Bus a lot of problems, and Red Team might have figured out some way how to just get inside their heads a little bit, because you saw that on Kings Row a little bit with Short Bus making a lot of different composition switch. You saw the Sombra come out, didn't find a lot of value. You saw the Jungle Queen come out, not a lot of value. A Diva come out, not a lot of value. Like that was a little bit of a sloppy map there for Short Bus. A great map for a Red Team. And, you know, heading in here now, like you said, Flash, it's a series. It's a best of 3. Both these teams want to keep their upper bracket run alive here. And as we head into Saravasa, we're going to see what each team kind of wants to come out with here.
Yeah, just a few seconds. We'll get these team comps rolling for y'all. And it's gonna be Junker Queen and Wrecking Ball. 2 of the, Dinks looked great on the Wrecking Ball on Kings Row. And the cries, had moments on Junker Queen when they switched over to it. But Junker Queen, one of the most popular tanks here on Flashpoint because of the speed boost. And of course, Lucio from Corona gonna help out too.
Yeah, but like I said, not surprised to see Red Team coming back out with this ball comp that they ran on Kings Row. Hopeful and Hey I'm Zero looked great on this Tracer and Ashline. The Dynamites and just Tracer being able to get into the backline, just finish off characters, was great. And you look back at Short Bus, you talked about Necry's coming out on the Jungle Queen. They have to be able to find a lot of value. They didn't find a lot of value last time. It was really NRG who kind of popped up, won them that team fight, got them up to 75% on that point. But then once you saw Red Team have all their team come back, it kind of evened out there and Red Team took control again.
And this is going to be the first fight here on Saravasa. We're on market as always, and NRG as always, finding great value on the Sojourn. Dinged had that knife stuck in the mech of the Wrecking Ball there. Not going to be able to follow up on that, but NRG with another pick, and they're going to put Short Bus in the driver's seat here.
And like I said, I kind of highlighted NRG there a little bit because they are such an impactful character. Akaza was really good on Lijiang Tower. NRG kind of opened up a lot for them on Kings Row, and I want them to do that here as well. The Soldier is very good, able to build up and get railgun shots up. They've been pretty accurate with them so far.
I mean, Corona was able to shove Dinks away from that slam there, but Evergreen gonna find the headshot on to Bobendo to take down that Kiriko. But despite Akaza finding Hopeful, it's looking like slowly but surely Red Team is bringing this fight out, and Ham Zero and Dinks are doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, and I mean, finding energy and Bendo out early was huge. And like I gets rid of a lot of damage and most of the healing that Short was able to have. Finding Corona was basically the fight ended in a cries, and Akaza was still there, but without that speed boost that the Lucio provides, really hurts him here. But now you're seeing again, really no one has been able to build up to an ultimate other than Akaza. They got a pulse from there, weren't able to really find anything, and now it's gonna be a really dry fight. But if Hopeful is able to build to a pulse bomb in this fight, they're gonna use it almost immediately.
And Dinks is trying to find that pick on to the Sojourn there. NRG is so low, but it's going to be NRG that comes out on top of that interaction. Hey, Hopeful is behind the Short Bus and trying to find some damage. They're not going to give this point up easily despite going down their Wrecking Ball. Hopeful so low, and Akaza has excellent tracking to put Hopeful in the dirt. Evergreen finding that 120 damage headshot on to Akaza, and Jacko through the window is going to find a pick. And I mean, it's scrappy. It's so scrappy, and the cries and Bobendo are still alive on this point. but it looks like red team are going to bring it out here. But the rest of Short Bus have returned. The Kitsune, or the Rampage came out, hit Evergreen, but the cleanse is gonna be good. Energy has returned though, ripped Hey I'm Zero's head off their shoulders. Corona following up onto Hopeful. Can they do it? Can they bring it back? The immortality field is gone. Jacko still alive, but Jacko with a triple dink on NRG. They're still fighting for market. Corona gets swung through, turned into a fine pace by Dinks, and Jacko comes alive. Necryze has returned on the Doomfist. Is it gonna matter? I don't know. Akaza goes down, and Necryze can't touch. Red team take market.
Yeah, and one thing about that fight there, it was a very heavily invested fight by both teams as we do head up to Ruins. Now, Red Team gonna have a great advantage coming in there. You look at Hey I'm Zero, gonna have a Bob. Dink's gonna come up on a minefield. Jacko able to build up an damage after basically using it to start that last fight. Hopefully having a pulse bomb as well. Short Bus, you're seeing them make some swaps again. They're not gonna have ultimates for a while, so Red Team, a really good spot right now. And hey, it's anything more than probably just the whole.
Okay. Dex is having some technical issues at the moment, but we see Hey I'm Zero throwing the Bob early into the fight, so it'll probably be Red Team getting this early flip here. I mean, it's not the fight yet. The fight's not done, but we will see if how Short Bus is going to respond. Bob has been used. Dinks rolls in and is able to drop Vobendo right on top of the minefield. Akaza is going to be able to take down Dinks, but Hey I'm Zero and Hopeful go to work on the backline and the DPS, and Corona, the last one alive, skating around on the top of that building. It was a great fight for Red Team. They used the Bob, sorry, and the minefield. And they have 3 ultimates. Are you here, Dex?
Yeah, I'm here. I mean,
okay.
But I mean, like I said, they had those ultimates right there to use to come into the Short Bus. They're slowly building up their ultimates right now. Look at this point, already 75%. Red Team had the ultimates they needed to at the start of this point. You see the Bulls already coming out there finding Corona.
Oh, Corona wasn't in the immortality field, and Hey I'm Zero through the amp matrix of Jacko's able to find Akaza, and you know, this is what you want to see when you're a Red Team, right? I mean, Akaza's been forced off of the Tracer that's been so lethal. So Red Team is, you know, forcing them to play how they want them to.
Yeah, and again, like I talked about going into that point there, Red Team had ultimates. Short Bus making that comp swamp, they had nothing ready to go there as we head to Palace here. Short Bus, though, does have ultimates to play with here, but Red Team, they have this saving grace with the Kasuni Rush here, whether you use it to engage into the fight or you use it as something at the end of a fight to try to give yourself a little bit of boost. That's going to be the real question here for Evergreen. If I'm Evergreen, though, you use it early, especially with Short Bus coming up on basically everything outside of a rally.
Yeah, and Akaza and the gang are already burning a little bit from that dynamite from Hey I'm Zero. And Necryze gets thrown to the low ground. It's going to be a lot of damage from the height from Akaza, and Dinks is no longer in the realm of the living. Necryze is taking so much damage from all angles, and it's going to be Evergreen from long there. Going to be able to take down the Sigma. Energy has to use the ice block to stay alive here. Bob gets thrown in, and NRG gets thrown out. Akaza is able to get the trade, though, for the DPS here, and the cleanse will not save Evergreen. Akaza has that wheels mode and is going to take out a second in this fight. The pulse bomb comes out, and Necryze, though, able to tank it pretty easily. Hopeful goes down, and Short Bus is going to take it right back.
Yeah, and if you're Short Bus, I don't necessarily know if you really needed to let Red Team take that point there. It ended up working out for you in the end, so I guess it doesn't matter for them, especially with Corona now coming up on a rally. Necryze has the Flux. NRG has the Blizzard here, but Dings coming up on a minefield of their own here. And you see they're watching Short Bus here. They're going to be able to come in, bowl through them, pile drive to the ground, and immediately put that minefield in.
But the minefield, you know, it's not going to be mostly on the high ground. It's going to be mostly on that low ground. Evergreen gets rocked there, but they're not able to follow up on it. The Flux is going to come out for Necryze. It will hit, Jacko, and Dinks frozen up in the Blizzard. Gonna go down, and with those picks, that should be Short Bus being able to take Palace.
Absolutely, and even though the minefield from Dinks did not come out in the spot that necessarily they were hoping for, it almost actually worked out for them a little bit better that it came down on the point as we do head to Gardens now. Short Bus is very hesitant to get back on the point to contest it. They got there at the last second. Hopeful, though. Able to find NRG out early is huge, but you look at Short Bus, they have ultimates to play with here. The Rally and the Amatrix there from Bobendo will be able to kind of support them while they wait for energy to get back.
And now red team has made a comp switch as well. Hanzo, Sigma here for the red team. So they don't have those ultimates. They only have the window from Jacko. And there it is. It has been invested as Short Bus was waiting for NRG to return. The airstrike is not going to find a pick, and Hopeful is going to take down Necry's. The Sigma now gone for the side of Short Bus. Kaza drops into the wheels motors, is able to take down Hopeful. So moving forward, as Necry's comes back, they will have that advantage.
Yeah, and it's very interesting to see Short Bus not use their own amp matrix there to kind of counter out Jacko's. It would have forced each team into an awkward situation of, do you poke your head out and just, accept all the damage that's going to be thrown through it? But now Bobendo has his amp matrix ready to go for this fight, and that's going to be a good engage to pull them, especially with the Kaza still on this bastion.
And here's the Kitsune Rush thrown out during the cast of the window here for the side of Bobendo. So dueling like support ultimates here, and it's going to be Hopeful from way down long.
The Crysis Dragon!
The Crysis is able to eat the dragon up! I mean, that's not what you want to see, but it just doesn't even matter as the Flux comes out. It's going to pick up NRG, and that should do it. That would be red team taking us to match point after taking Suravasa.
Yeah, and red team, I mean, we were talking about it a little bit over halftime, but no, Akaza actually able to come back, get a touch here. It's going to be interesting to see if this Tracer can continue getting these touch. A little bit too late there on the blink. But as I was saying, with red team taking this map, like you said, putting them onto serious point, we talked about in halftime, red team looked like a completely different team. And it all kind of started with the performance of Dinks. Hopeful really came in clutch here as well at some points of this map. I mean, everyone on red team kind of figured out how Short Bus wanted to play this series. At some point in Lijiang Tower, weren't able to win that map, but then you look at Kings Row, dominated them there, almost dominated them here again. Short Bus, they had those swaps not really work out for them on that second point, but that third point, they had ultimates to kind of use at the start, really helped them out there, but they weren't able to get anything going after that. And now, like we have been saying, red team, one map win away from moving on to the next round. Short Bus has to pick a map here where they are 100% confident that they are going to win.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say 100% confidence. I feel like, especially against a team like Red Team, one of the most historic teams in this console open tier here in CGL. Everybody knows the name that knows about CGL. Red Team has dominated for years, right? So saying you're 100% confident is a lie. You're lying, more than likely, or you're stupid. And if you just go in gung-ho, red team is going to find a way to punish you. And I don't think Short Bus is going in gung-ho here, right? They're just, having to face these adaptations that red team has developed over their time being such a good team. And going into push, I'm not sure what map Short Bus would like to pick here, but it like you said, it does have to be a map that you are confident on, that that you can at least try to throw a haymaker on.
I mean, based on what they kind of told us through their team sheets, their favorite push map is New Queen Street. Well, that might be a little bit of a joke one. It might be a good map for them to pick here. Not a lot of teams pick it. A lot of teams don't necessarily like to play it. You see Coliseo and Esperanza more than you see New Queen Street. So maybe that will catch red team a little bit off guard here if that's the way they decide to go. But again, you have to start looking at the individual matchups in this series here. When you saw Short Bus swap over to that Sigma, yeah, it was very slow for them to get going, but then once they got going, especially on that third point, they looked good, and red team immediately countered back with a Sigma of their own. And you could talk about the Hanzo that came out there, a little bit of an interesting pick, found a lot of value. Even though the Dragons got 8, was still able to do enough of a job that it really helped their team out. But again, I really want to focus on this tank battle. battle of Dinks and Necryze. Necryze looked like to be absolutely dipping Dinks there on Lijiang Tower, but ever since then, it has been a completely different series. It's almost Dinks kind of outplaying Necryze here, as Necryze, outside of Doomfist, hasn't necessarily looked very comfortable. They looked kind of good with that Junker Queen to start Sarabasa. You saw him swap over to Doomfist late there, probably just to get a touch on that point to try to keep that fight alive. Didn't end up working out for them. They go over to the Sigma, have very mixed results on it at that second point. Third point kind of helped their team really win that point there. But after it was a Sigma v Sigma mirror, they kind of fell behind there a little bit compared to what Dinks was doing on the Sigma.
Yeah, and we do have a map selection here from the side of Short Bus. I don't think we have... Okay, we do. It's going to be Coliseo. I'm kind of interested to see what they want to do here. I think the Doomfist that they liked on Lijiang Tower can work just as well on Coliseo if that's what they want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. But when I look at push maps, Coliseo definitely kind of leans to... Coliseo just screams Brawl to me. Close quarters kind of action that you get, especially at where the bot kind of starts. It all just kind of goes into Brawl, in my opinion. So it's going to be interesting to see what they want to come out with here, because they really haven't shown us a true Brawl comp yet. We have seen them play Junker Queen a little bit, but it hasn't necessarily been, supported by what you would think of a Junker Queen Brawl. It's been more of a Junker Queen Rush comp for them here. But if you're Red Team, I feel like you have all the momentum on your side right now. I feel like, especially if you're Hey I'm Zero, Hopeful, Dinks, Jacko, Evergreen, yeah, I just named everyone on that team, but they have looked really good since Lijiang Tower. It seems like they kind of settled down a little bit in this series and just kind of let it all come to them, and it's been great ever since.
Yeah, I mean, Red Team, they found their stride here, and it's going to be a tough ask to halt the momentum that Red Team has built here, but I know that Short Bus has that potential to do so. So coming into Coliseo, their own map pick, we'll see what they can do. I mean, I'm really, really interested because they haven't really played that conventional rush type composition thus far. Only playing, playing the Doomfist on both King's Row and Lijiang Tower. So I'm kind of expecting Doomfist. No, it'll be the Junker Queen.
And we have seen Necryze play this on every map outside of Lijiang Tower. In my opinion, it's had very mixed success. We saw the Rampage come out for them on that first point of Sarabasa. It hit one or two people, but I don't think they're really able to find any kills off it. And yeah, it was an ultimate used in desperation, not necessarily able to find a lot of value there. But you see Dinks coming back out on this ball comp here. We saw them, or Red Team coming back out on this ball comp, and it's basically the exact same thing they've been running. I mean, it seems like they found something that Short Bus just struggles to play into, and are just going to force Short Bus to beat them with it. And they're going to keep running it until they do.
Yeah, Short Bus has marked out Dinks in their backline. Keeping this Wrecking Ball at bay is going to be an important part of winning this map to keep your winner's bracket hopes alive. Now, Hopeful, oh my goodness, what a knife from Necryze. Not able to finish off the kill onto Hopeful, and NRG takes so much damage there, but is able to slide out and stay alive. I mean, the bleed there for Necryze is going to be so helpful going forward in this match. And Evergreen is kind of stuck in no man's land. Dinks did try to come help, but it's not going to be any good there as they lose their Kiriko early and Short Bus starts to move the bot.
Yeah, Red Team was able to get a little bit of push there, but like you said, Evergreen maybe a little bit too far away from their team here. Kaza back on the Tracer has to kind of be a difference maker for them here. But if you cannot stop Dinks, I mean, it's going to be really hard for Short Bus to get anything going. But NRG going to start this fight off with finding Zero.
And it looks like they're making a great job of marking where Dinks is, what Dinks is doing, and it's oh, was that a stick on the knife? No? But I know what is sticking, and that is Akaza's crosshair to Hopeful. I mean, absolutely dominating on the Tracer once again.
And you see Akaza having this pulse bomb ready to go, and if I'm them, you're throwing it on to Dinks, try to get them down, allow Necryze and Energy and yourself to clean it up here. But now just Dinks gonna be rolling around, just trying to dodge their way around everyone here on Short Bus.
Oh, there it is. Like you said, the Immortality Field too little too late to save the hamster. Dinks goes down early. NRG burning up from the dynamite from Zero. Pulse Bomb comes out from Hopeful, not gonna find a target. Hopeful doesn't have the recall anymore. Was gonna live though. So a great job from Red Team to keep that Tracer alive, and it's going to be the high ground contest. And the Kitsune rush into the window from Short Bus. We will see. No, Short Bus. Yeah, they threw it out, but they're just gonna back up here.
Yeah, I understand what they were trying to do there, but it just didn't end up working out for them because Red Team was just kind of saying, hey, yeah, we see that Kitsune rush come out. We want you to run into us.
Ooh, Hopeful's able to take it down and it cries. And it's so big that they didn't let Butt Scratch occur there. Hopeful does, or Akaza, sorry, is going to take down Jacko. Does go down 2-0. Corona, though, is a little bit too slippery for the Ash.
Yeah, but they're able to get away, and that's a huge play there for Short Bus, especially coming up on 4 ultimates right now. Ding's going over to this D.Va. You saw them do this before, getting off the ball, going over to the D.Va. They have looked good on D.Va throughout the series so far, almost to a bomb, but those are almost always used as a remeching tool. The Pulse Bomb from Akaza now, you're looking for, hey, I'm Zero, you're looking for Jacko or Evergreen. You want to force out some utility from them if you're going to get a stick.
Yeah, and Short Bus has returned to the fray. Nakrai's up in there with the help of Corona, though. NRG has taken a lot of damage, though. A great stick there with the knife on to Evergreen, who does not have the cleanse, who does not have the TP. The beat from Corona to counter out the Kitsune rush. Is it going to be good? Evergreen's going to be able to take down Nakrai's. The overclock is no good, as is the pulse bomb for Akaza. Corona not lucky enough to get away this time, and Red Team looks to try and even up the distance.
When one ultimate basically beats out 3, it's huge. The Kitsune rush there from Evergreen beat out a pulse bomb, beat out an overclock, and beat out a beat there from Corona. Huge play there for Red Team, and you're still holding on to a pulse bomb for Hopeful. Hey, I'm Zero, gonna have a Bob ready to go as well, and they're nearing Butt Scratch here, and more importantly, the lead, especially with how close these push maps can be. Just getting 1 meter ahead might be the difference.
And it'll be so close, but it doesn't look like Akaza wants to give it up just yet. The amplification matrix comes out from Jacko, and Hey, I'm Zero follows up perfectly, and that will be Butt Scratch going the way of Red Team.
I mean,
slowly but surely.
Short Bus is not going to let this fight go, or Short Bus is not going to let this go without a fight here, but you will see them get the lead and Butt Scratch, and look at the ultimates right now. They have Bop, they have a Pulse Bomb. Dinks, like I said, don't really expect the bomb to come out from them. It's going to be used as a remaking tool. Nakrai's has kind of been holding on to this Rampage for a little bit, though, and Bobendo has that Kitsune Rush ready to go. I would not be surprised you see those two kind of want to, combo those up here, but you look at the utility that Red Team has here. Watch out for the Pulse Bomb from Hopeful. That is always a start that I would be expecting. Bob, though, is going to be the answer.
But NRG is able to take down Zero. The Pulse Bomb comes out from Hopeful, and the 2-player Rampage is going to be good for Short Bus. Nakrai's kills 2 and is chasing down Hopeful the best that they can. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. You just got to die there.
Yeah, that was, like I said, get to be used as a remaking tool. Maybe they were hopeful that Corona or Akaza would try to dive them a little bit and get stuck there, but just ended up not working out for them. And that's almost a situation where I think you're going to see a swap, but you're not. Now, spawns reset there. Short Bus wants to take another fight here because they know they win a fight. They basically get their own forward spawns and maybe even the lead back. You'll see what they're coming up on. Akaza, a Pulse Bomb, Energy, a Bomb. Bobendo still holding on to this Kitsune Rush here, but you don't want to use it into an damage there from Jacko like you did last time.
NRG able to one-shot the Tracer here. Hey, I'm Zero. You're not allowed up on that high ground, boy. Get back down here. Akaza's pull gets eaten up by Dinks. Hey, I'm Zero. So low, but the peel is insane for Dinks. But Akaza's tracking is even better. Zero goes down after so much pressure. It looks like Short Bus is really, really hoping to get this Butt Scratch going. The Kitsune Rush coming out from Evergreen. They don't want to give up the fight. Bob throws Jacko up into the air out of the Immortality field. And that will be Short Bus slowly but surely bringing out this Butt Scratch, and Akaza continues to find picks.
And they're going to be able to get forward spawns here. They're going to probably be able to get the lead. But you only have these 3 characters right here for Short Bus. You have to play this smart, get the lead, and then back out of the fight. But you're seeing red team coming in incredibly fast. Short Bus not going to be able to get the lead. They're going to have to back out instead to regroup and try to get the lead here shortly. But you see Hopeful Jacko has those ultimates ready to go. Corona, we saw what a beat did last time. Didn't really do a lot, but it ran into a consuming rush from Evergreen. They have a little bit more utility this time to Cries. If they build up to this rampage fast, I would expect them to try to use it incredibly early in the fight, wanting to catch red team off guard, but still, watch out for Hopeful. They're going to be in that backline trying to find Corona.
Yeah, and this bot being pulled back and forth, not sure which way to go just yet, as the fight has yet to actually really start. The shout comes out from the Cries. No real engagement there on that important cooldown. The Cries does almost have the rampage ready to go. Akaza, where is Akaza? Akaza's behind them with a pulse bomb there. We see walking up that ramp. Pulse bomb comes out, does not find a target. Don't know if it got cleansed or an immortality field or something like that. There's the immortality field. Rampage ready to go for Necries, but Dinks is able to take down Akaza. Jacko in the sky, solo, able to live. The healing is insane for him. Zero Necries just can't deal enough damage. Probably just needs to go down here.
And honestly, the restraint here from red team has been great. Necries, though, wants to keep this fight alive.
I should have just died.
Yeah, they needed to die there a little bit faster. But like I was saying, the restraint from red team, you saw how patient they were wanting to play there. They knew they had ultimates. They knew they had this lead, though. So it was all on Short Bus to get anything started. And they played it perfectly. Hopeful and was not able to find anything with a pulse bomb. Bob was a little bit more impactful there from Ham Zero. But you look at what they have now, an overclock and a rampage. I would be watching out for that, because that is a very deadly combo, especially with someone like Hey I'm Zero. It will just pump in a whole bunch of damage to that amp matrix.
Bob almost ready for NRG. The Kitsune Rush comes out. You gotta expect to see Robert coming in very, very soon. Necries, the bleed keeps the Junker Queen alive, but Hopeful's able to take down Corona. Hey, I'm Zero, burning up, but it's 2 for 2 here. Necries is so low. The healing is insane. The bleed keeping this Junker Queen alive. The shout comes out. Dinks has to get away, but Hopeful is able to take down Akaza. The knife is good for Hey I'm Zero. The recall is out from Hopeful now, but Necries has another rampage ready to go here. Can they take down the Tracer? They will. And Short Bus has 4 ultimates coming into this last fight.
Yeah, and a great fight there from Short Bus, and a great kind of hold there from Hopeful just to eat away at the clock. Overtime fight here now. It has to go Short Bus way here to keep this series alive, and these 4 ultimates have to be huge. Akaza the pulse bomb, I would expect it first. Maybe Bendo here wants to get started here with the Kitsune Rush, and that's exactly what they want to do. They want to get through this choke incredibly early.
Kit Rush comes out for Short Bus. Not going to find a lot of value, but it does push red team back. They're going to get this contest going from the top of the bridge. Pulse Bomb comes out, but is cleansed by Vobendo. Pulse Bomb in Akaza's pocket as well, but in a fight with Hopeful at the moment. The dive comes out from Dinks. Akaza has the Pulse Bomb still. NRG throws out the Rampage comes out. Bob goes down, but 2 meters, 1 meter. We're going to a map 5. Red team, Short Bus, 2-2.
And again, it really came down to the one thing that we were kind of talking about before that fight there, Short Bus, those 4 ultimates. If they had lost that fight, red team would have had to pull out some amazing plays. They only had that pulse bomb ready to go there, but it was incredibly Suzu out there by Short Bus to keep themselves alive there. And once that kind of happened, you know, it was the beginning of the end there for red team. Short Bus, though, has looked great so far, and Necries, I've been kind of talking about it all series. They kind of looked a little bit uncomfortable off with the Doomfist, but they finally looked very comfortable on another tank, and that Junker Queen has really started to come alive for them. But we started to see, you know, some of their other players show up. Akaza on that Tracer again was doing such a great job for them. NRG on the Ashe, able to do so much, and their support line was able to do a lot as well. And you saw red team invest a lot of ultimates into that previous fight, because they knew if they won that fight, they win the map, the series is over there. But now we're going to be heading into a map 5. It's anyone's game here. I feel like the momentum has now kind of shifted back to being neutral between these 2 teams.
Yeah, I mean, what a match. What a match. The perennial favorites to win the tournaments in red team. I mean, just getting absolutely An absolute banger match right now from Short Bus. I mean, they're a relatively new team. I mean, they just came together. Their description on on the team sheets we received for each match here is that they're just a bunch of ranked plebs coming together to play for fun, and they look scary. I mean, no matter what team wins, what team loses, both of these teams should be able to hold their head high because they know that they're one of the best teams that we have in CGL. But unfortunately, we won't know who's going to win just yet. We're going to cut to a short break, and when we come back, we will have the decider map on Escort.
Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yours.
Our inside here, you know, you get an insight and you know something, you know, but you don't want to say it out loud because you're kind of afraid that it's not going to be really true and it'll spoil the whole thing for you, you know. But when somebody makes you say it, then, and it's true, then it just makes it more beautiful of a thing.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Both teams here, bloodied and battered, 2-2, going into map 5 here in our series. The decider is going to be on Watch Point Gibraltar, a map that, you know, I don't see very often because I don't see map 5 gigabangers like this to begin with very often these days. So really interested to see what these two teams are going to come out with. We were talking about it a little bit. Red team has 2 dive looks that have worked for them thus far in the series with the Diva or the Wrecking Ball. And from the side of Short Bus, it's been, you know, the only dive look that they've had thus far has been the Doomfist.
Yeah, we have seen, you know, Short Bus play Diva a little bit at some points, but it was only very shortly. And you brought up an interesting fact while we were talking about this in between the or during the break there. Dinks, while we have seen them run that Diva a lot, that Wrecking Ball could come out. And it could be something that could immediately give them a huge advantage, because you have to remember, Short Bus has really struggled going into that Wrecking Ball comp that Red Team has been running this entire series. And with this being a map 5, I mean, if you are Red Team, you're maybe thinking, okay, we're going to bring out this Wrecking Ball. They haven't shut us down all series when we're playing it. It has to be something that we at least have to try 1 or 2 fights with to see if we get anything here. Team sides have swapped though. So Short Bus, no, it was Red Team who picked this map. Short Bus taking the smart choice in my opinion, going on the defense first. I always like that. You know what you have to do on your attack. But hey, we are loading into the map here. We're going to shortly see what each team really wants to come out with here.
Yeah, and I'm kind of expecting what we've seen all series, right? Short Bus, the only dive look that they've had, like I said, the Doomfist. Red Team a little more open, and I'm interested to see. And it's going to be the Wrecking Ball and Necry's coming out on the Diva here. So I don't think we've seen Necry's primarily play Diva for most of the series. Like you said, we've seen him play it a couple of times. But it always feels like it's the desperation switch.
Yeah, we saw it for King's Row, and it wasn't. I think they stayed on for 1 or 2 lives. Didn't really work out for them there. We didn't see it on Serve also. We didn't see it last map, but the Drunk Queen looked really good for them on the last map. But this is not a Drunk Queen map. But you know, we're talking about the tanks here. Corona coming out on this Illari. The Captive Sun, while it has been nerfed a little bit, still a very good thing at trying to get rid of characters like Hey I'm Zero or Dinks on this Wrecking Ball. If you're able to pump in enough damage into that Wrecking Ball, the Sunstrucks will be able to immediately get them down here. But it really comes down to, like we've been saying, this tank battle. Can Necry's help slow Dinks down?
And Dinks is already under a lot of pressure, taking so much damage early, and Necry's burning, but able to get up to Vobendo to receive the healing of the Baptiste. And Dinks just has not found the opportunity to engage yet. They have the part underneath the choke here, and Dinks once again just shoved away like he's nothing. I mean, it's just been such a great job thus far in this first 45 seconds, not allowing Dinks to do anything. Nobody has died from either side. So, you know, nothing has been able to happen thus far for the attack. The defense, you know, gonna drop down onto the cart a little bit here. But Dinks, once again, trying to find an engage, finally gets the slam in, but there's no follow-up here. I mean, they're just getting so much of this progress, but it's gonna be Hey I'm Zero taking down NRG, and Dinks with 2! A great couple of kills there for the Wrecking Ball, finally getting an opportunity, finding the opening to kill 2, but Short Bus will not give this up willingly. Necry's is ready and willing to go back into this fight, does get demeched, and that will be the capture coming through from Red Team.
And I don't think that was a smart play there from Necry's. You didn't have a bomb to be able to get yourself in the mech there. You had to hope someone like Akaza was going to be there to kind of help you out as well. They weren't able to really do that there. And now you're just seeing Red Team kind of roll through everyone here on Short Bus, getting a lot of stagger kills and no ultimates used by either side there. We're going to see a lot of ultimates come out here. Again, though, Dinks on this high ground. They're going to be able to put a minefield down somewhere that will hurt Short Bus or prevent them from coming in as fast as they want. But watch out for Akaza again. They're looking for these pulse bump sticks onto the back line, or hell, anyone they can find.
And there is the pick. Evergreen, it goes down to NRG's Dynamite. A great first pick there. Bob thrown out by Zero. Finds only the healing pylon. The bomb comes out for Necry's to get the remech. Does get back into the mech here, but Corona is dead. Dinks does go down, fortunately enough, for Short Bus, but Akaza is going to fall, and this is not looking great here as the Pulse Bomb comes out, stopped by Vobendo's Immortality Field. Necry's is alive and picking right now, trying to find some value, but it's going to be NRG that takes down Jacko, takes down Hopeful, and that will be Short Bus finally finding some footing here on Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Yeah, they needed to have something stabilized there. And you're seeing them still holding on to a lot of ultimates right now. Our red team only having this Consuming Rush from Evergreen. We have seen that be a huge ultimate for them in the past, basically being out 3 ultimates by themselves. But I don't think we're going to see that this time from them. Energy has this Bob. Akaza still holding on to this Pulse Bomb here. Again, watch out for Akaza to maybe stick it on to either one of these two right here as they walk through. But they're going to actually be a little bit of a recon tracer at the moment.
Yeah, has the Pulse Bomb, like you said, but Dinks starts it out onto Vobendo. Jacko gets hit. The Immortality Field will be good to save their lives. AM0 not so lucky, but Akaza still trying to put in this work. NRG with the headshot onto Hopeful. I mean, Akaza gonna be able to take down Dinks, but not before Dinks takes down the the Diva mech. And Necry's, you know, just once back in the mech, walks into the mines.
Yeah, but if you're red team and you still have some members alive, maybe you want to play a little bit fast, try to get there before Necry's gets back. Necry's will have a remaking tool in this next fight, so they're going to be a little bit more aggressive now that they have Akaza, though. Still holding on to a Pulse Bomb here. Vobendo has his Amix ready to go, but Hey, I'm Zero. That Bob came in clutch for Short Bus last time. I would imagine Hey, I'm Zero throwing this Bob is right on point.
Ooh, a great combo of shots there from Hey, I'm Zero to push Dink out of the fight. And, you know, Necry's is happy to just take the shots from Bob. Has the health pool to deal with that. Bob not gonna be a factor in this one. Akaza so low. The pylon gets thrown across the map, and NRG goes down to Dinks. The cart is slowly but surely inching closer. The Pulse Bomb comes out, and Dinks goes down. The bomb finds Hopeful, and Short Bus stay alive.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was a bomb used for offensive purposes or a remake, but hey, you're able to find one there, especially with some help from Akaza there on that Pulse Bomb. Finding Dinks out with that Pulse Bomb is actually a huge play for them. It does a lot of damage, allows for easy cleanup and follow-up after that. But now, you're seeing another Bobby ready here for NRG. Dinks gonna have a minefield ready to go this fight, but Evergreen, with that Captain Sun, we saw how big it was for Short Bus when Corona had it, and they're about to have their own ready to go here, so it's gonna be a heavily invested fight. I'll be watching out for both Captain Sun.
NRG sees Hey, I'm Zero for a split second and puts him in the dirt, and NRG coming alive again takes down Evergreen with a couple of great shots to the head. And I mean, red team is just reeling right now. They don't know what's happening. The fight enters the white room, and NRG with 3. The recall comes out, NRG can't clean it up, but it's gonna be Akaza trying to get it, and Akaza gets the spawn kill on Hopeful, who almost got out, but Akaza is not gonna let that happen.
You're seeing some swaps come out here for red team a little bit. Actually, no, you're not. But, I mean, right now, you're seeing ultimates ready for both sides. Captain Sun's ready for both sides. Bob's about to be ready for both sides. And essentially, it's even with Pulse Bombs here. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this is engaged here. But Short Bus right now, they have won, in my opinion. Even if they give up this fight, they've already ate off so much time.
Oh my goodness, NRG, you know, despite going down to the Captive Sun, Corona and NRG have found the picks. Akaza takes down Hopeful, and it's just Dinks left. 14 seconds, you just have to live.
Yeah, and Dinks, it's going to be up to them to get back in and get a touch on this point, probably. You're seeing Hopeful come right back in right now. Again, going to be up to Dinks. You have no Bob you can throw out there to contest this point right now if you're them. But Akaza finds Dinks.
Dinks is dead. Dinks is dead. That's insanely big for Short Bus. They have the Amp Matrix out from Vobendo. The window also going to come out from Jacko, but they don't have the Immortality Field this time. AM0 puts Akaza in the dirt. One shot through the window, taking down the Tracer Immortality Field. To keep Necry's in mech, has the bomb, throws it out on the point. It's going to take down Evergreen. Dinks goes down to NRG, and it's just 0 left. And it's going to be Short Bus holding on point B.
And Necry's using that bomb of aggressively there, worked out to perfection. They found both supports, and it was downhill from there. Red team was not able to get the Bob in that last fight. 97%. When you saw Hey I'm Zero fall there, that Bob would have been able to buy them some time, but they just weren't able to get that up fast enough. But Short Bus, they played that second point defense here to perfection. They got basically rolled on first point, as it was a very long team fight between the two teams, and eventually, you had a good opening there from Dinks finding that double pile drive kill there, and that just allowed them to have that first point go their way. And then you saw Short Bus make a little bit of stake there, feed a little bit, but only came back to really help them there. Now, I mean, we saw the Illari come out from Short Bus on to start. Now we're seeing Evergreen come out with it as well. Illari, first time we're really seeing them this entire series. They found a lot of value with the Captive Sons. I feel like it is a great pick for each team. Desperately, who really wants to be doing a lot more damage. And with this support line here, you're really looking at supports who can do both a lot of healing and a lot of damage. And really, it's almost a mirror match between the two sides here. You're just seeing which tank each tank likes to probably play as the dive tank here. Dinks on this Wrecking Ball, Necry's on this D.Va, who honestly has looked really good on the D.Va.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting the Doomfist full stop, but I am not disappointed by the D.Va of Necry's. We're gonna get into this last point here, the last few points of this series here. It will get decided. No draws in the books here. Nothing has gotten off to a start just yet. The Immortality Field invested by Vobendo in the staircase a little bit earlier. I'm not sure what Short Bus is fighting over there, but it's going to be Hey I'm Zero starting us off with a pick onto Corona. Red team is going to force a Short Bus back for the time being. The recall out from Hopeful, so maybe they're going to be able to find Hopeful. Will take down the Tracer without that recall. Such a sitting duck. Now it's going to be Dinks in there trying to take down the supports of Short Bus. Not able to. So much healing. Able to keep each other alive. Corona and Vobendo playing so well back there, able to defend each other. Akaza does not want to use that recall just yet. Gonna grab the Mega. Dinks rolling through the top here. Necry's gets D-mech'd all alone on high ground. But Akaza is gonna trade it out onto Evergreen. So an okay fight here for Red team as they wait for their D.Va to come back.
And you have to remember how last round started. It was very slow, and then you had an opener there from Dink. We haven't seen that same play come out from Short Bus. The Bolt Bomb coming out there from Kaza, not going to be able to find one, and they immediately lose their life right after that. It will be traded out, but again, you're looking for an opener here for Short Bus, and you need to kind of find it fast here.
Yeah, Pulse Bomb also out from Hopeful, but it's an even fight at the moment. Dinks playing for health packs here like a good little Wrecking Ball, and slamming on a couple there, not finding any kind of combo there, but Bob going to be invested. Not gonna find a lot of damage as a Short Bus gonna force Red team out around the corner. The window comes out from both sides. Vobendo, Jacko using their amplification matrices. And it's gonna be Hey I'm Zero throwing the dynamite through the window. The Bob and every ultimate being invested. Hey I'm Zero goes down, the bomb comes out, no kills from the bomb, but Akaza's coming alive! Akaza with 2, taking down the back line of Red team. Can they capture it? They will. 4 minutes on the clock to win the series.
And like you said, every ultimate came out there from each team. Short Bus was a little bit slow to get to, pushing that cart there, but in the end, it ended up working out for them. I felt like that was a little bit of a mistake from them at the time, but hey, if you get the point, I guess I'm just wrong there. Every ultimate is out here. Akaza and Evergreen are close to having their ones here. Evergreen might probably use, or no, I expect them to use the Kitsune Rush when in a time where they're feeling very pressured. But you see Dinks going off this ball, going to a D.Va now, so they want to try to eat up a lot of damage.
That's a great first pick for Short Bus, though, taking down the Tracer of Hopeful. Akaza has the Pulse Bomb, and they're already only 20 meters away from the golden box of victory. The Cry's dropping down below 200 HP. The Kitsune Rush comes out, but it's the wrong way. They're not in the Kitsune Rush anymore. Dinks goes back up onto the high ground, and Hey I'm Zero is able to take down NRG to start the fight. Jacko and Zero go to work and take down a one each. Evergreen with the headshot onto Vobendo, and what is that? 10 meters, 13 meters? to decide the point.
13. And honestly, if you're a red team, you're actually glad that short push was able to push it up that far. It means you have to engage further into this point here to really get anything going. It means you have to use some ultimates, you have to use some abilities. Red team has a pulse bomb, has his amp is ready to go. Dink's close to a bomb here. Necryze doesn't have that bomb ready to go, but Akaza has their pulse bomb ready to go here. Hopeful though, getting very aggressive, and they're already forcing out the immortality field.
And Vobindo walks out of the Immort. Ham Zero puts Akaza in the dirt. And that's already a fight win for red team.
Now just cleaning up the scraps basically here, but you're seeing short buzz. This is something they did on Colosseo. They allowed red team to use their ultimates in fights, let them build up their own, and that's how they won that map 4 in this map 5. You look at them right now, they're basically all gonna have ultimates ready to go this fight. There's gonna be no Kitsune Rush, there's gonna be no pulse bomb ready for red team, but again, Akaza has that pulse bomb ready to go. I imagine they're gonna be looking for, hey, I'm Zero here to get them out of this fight early.
Bob ready 4-0. Dink's trying to go in, takes down the healing pylon. Necryze takes a lot of damage here. Pulse Bomb comes out from Akaza, gets the immortality field out. Dinks, the peel is good for the D.Va. They're not going to be able to take down the Baptiste. Dinks so low. The bomb comes out. They don't have an immortality field. It's going to take down Zero. Jacko goes down as well. Bomb as well for Dinks, only going to hit the immortality field. So now, red team without 2 of their teammates, make that 3, are going to be left reeling. Bob behind Dinks, a bunch in front, and Akaza's going to be able to take down Jacko. NRG with the Bob takes down Dinks, and it's just Hopeful and Bob left. Evergreen has returned, and Hey I'm Zero's on the high ground. Hey I'm Zero's able to take down Necryze. This fight is going in the way of red team. They're able to keep it alive, only 2 meters left.
And honestly, a great fight there by red team. You lost Dinks early, and you lost Jacko. Came over to Lucio, now going over to the Moira, now going back over to the Baptiste that they have this time here. Short Bus making some swaps there as well. You saw Vobendo get off the Baptiste, then go back to the Baptiste. Akaza and Hopeful have their pulse bombs ready to go. They're basically going to be the only ultimates you see. Evergreen, though, will have a Kitsune Rush ready to go as well. I would expect them to use that early. They've been very aggressive with them in the past. Use it early, win a team fight, win the map, win the series for them here. Akaza, though, if they get that pulse bomb, watch out for Jacko.
Oh my goodness! And it's gonna be a good for NRG. If you're a short bus, just try to disengage for a second. You've got a little bit of time, but they're not gonna do it. Akaza has the pulse bomb ready to go. It does not hit a target. The Kitsune Rush comes out, only 10 seconds left remaining. Jacko goes down, but it's a trade for Corona. Hey, I'm Zero. Dinks able to find the picks. 3 seconds left. The Cries can't get the bomb back, and that is it. NRG has returned on the Sombra, able to take down Zero. Gets the touch going, but Corona on the Lucio, too far away. Red team takes the shots to the head, but stays alive. 3-2.
Yeah, and overall, a great series from both these two teams. It could have gone either way there at the end, but red team played it perfectly. They got the stall they really needed there at the end to allow a lot of their team to come back in that last fight. The Bob came out from short bus, but like we saw, it was the D.Va, it was the Lucio for red team came out stalled just long enough for their team to come back, and then a huge dynamite came out there from Hey I'm Zero to start that burn, and they were able to get 3 kills right after that short bus. I mean, maybe they feel bad about this loss, but hey, you took what everyone is considering to be one of the best teams here in this console open tier to map 5, and you were so close to taking the series, forcing them down to a lower bracket run, but you're just not able to do it here. Short Buzz, though, my bad, red team, though, keeping their perfect season alive with this win. This has probably been their closest match yet, in my opinion, especially when you look at what their season has been. Only one other series that went to map 5. That was against Strawberry, who they could be playing next round.
Yeah, I mean, what a match. I mean, the short bus, the for fun team. I mean, if you're in the losers bracket, I don't care who you are, who you think you are. Short bus is not a team that you're gonna be able to take lightly. They have hands, and they're not afraid to use them. Red team does move on, but I mean, they're beaten down. Like, it was literally that much that much further, and this series is looking completely different. But both of these teams have earned the right to say that they are one of the best teams in not only the console division, but the entirety of CGL.
Yeah, and you talked about Red Team being beaten down here. Honestly, I think this kind of helps them. It gives them a good kind of reality check. You've been kind of, sweeping every team you've been facing. You swept your first round, but then you finally had what I would consider to be your first real matchup in a while here against Short Bus. Now you kind of know what to expect. You have some stuff to go back and look at and say, hey, we need to work on this. We need to work on this. We need to work on this. And this is a good matchup for them. It was a good matchup for both teams here. I think they learned a lot. Short Bus, I think they learned that, they struggle against a ball comp. And we saw that there on maps 2 and 3 of Kings Row and Surabasa a little bit, but we just didn't necessarily see it, come back out after that. They tried to come back out with it to start Watch Puncher Balta. They found some success, and we did see Dinks kind of open up the fight there with that ball, but they weren't really able to get a lot of value after that as Short Bus figured out how to stop that wrecking ball there for the first time. But hey, an incredible series from these two teams. Could have gone either way. Red Team, though, like I said, keeping their perfect season alive here. And honestly, I think at the end of the day, they are happy about that, but they're just happy to be moving on to the next round. And maybe more importantly, might not have to see Short Bus again until the grand finals if both teams make it there.
Yeah, and I mean... Yeah, okay, had to get that out. Yeah, I mean, these teams, they're just so talented, so good, and no team will want to play them winners bracket, losers bracket. It doesn't matter. A Short Bus today took hands to the Giants and became Giants themselves, but unfortunately, I mean, that's all that we've got tonight. I know it sucks to leave it off on that, but my God. I want more, Dex. Don't look at me like that.
I wouldn't say ending the night off here makes it suck. This was
it does. Okay, it doesn't suck. It doesn't suck, but I wanted more.
Two of the best teams in this tier.
Yeah, I want more. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't suck. The game was incredible. The game was the opposite of suck. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Just a potential grand finals matchup in the making. There are a few other really good teams left in this bracket, though, with the likes of Strawberry that made it to the grand finals of the midseason tournament, the likes of Team Big Dog, who didn't drop a map during the regular season, not one. So, I mean, this bracket in the console tier shaping up to be one for the books. So with that, it's going to do it for us tonight. I've been In the Fletch, joined by Dexatron, and we want to thank you all for watching this incredible series, and we hope to catch y'all on the flip side. Good night, everyone.